All right, so this weekend's project is to take this pile of lumber and start filling in the walls of this pole barn. We had this built back in, I think, the late 90s. It's about 36 by 32, something like that. Just, you know, your typical pole barn. It's got 4x6 posts going around the perimeter, spaced a little bit less than 8 feet. And then for the roof, just these trusses in here. The intent is that we'll fill in the walls with 2x6 stud walls that will get insulated, and then we'll also fill in between the ceiling trusses with joists going this way. I guess it'd be rafters. No, they'd be joists. And then we'll put steel up there and blow in insulation on for the roof. So we got a pile of lumber started out here from earlier this year, back in the spring, we had some big tooth aspen cut down in the backwoods here, and my dad had them cut into 2x6s, though we had them cut exactly 2 inches thick instead of 1.5 inches, but they are only 5.5 wide. So we got 2 stacks here, this one and that one under the tarp. This one over here is mixed hardwood lumber, a lot of ash in there, I think some hickory and cherry. Same with that other stack there. So we've just been picking boards out of this pile. We've got probably at least twice as much as we need. Loading them up into the trailer and driving them on up. We're going to start in this corner next to the door. So first things first, we need to clear out the implements and broom clean the floor. The stud walls will go tight to the 4x6 poles and be fastened to the poles with heavy lag screws. The idea here is that, when these poles inevitably rot out in the ground, the barn will still be supported by the new concrete floor through the stud walls. But to do this, the existing electrical needs to be temporarily undone, which I'm taking care of after turning power off to the circuit. Since we know the poles aren't exactly plumb and the floor isn't perfectly level, I need to measure the opening and cut the wall to fit. Given that this is a 2x6 stud wall, a spacing of 24 inches is sufficient. This uses less material than 16-inch centers and also slightly improves the insulation value of the wall since the insulation to stud ratio is higher. For the sill plates, we're using normal pressure-treated pine lumber from a local building supply shop. The nails for this wall are galvanized where they go through the sill plate, since the pressure treatment chemicals will rust out uncoated nails. The nails for the top plate can be regular, bright nails. An important step for the exterior stud wall is to put down sill seal, which keeps air and critters from coming in under the sill plate. It also provides a gap to keep water from wicking into the sill plate from the concrete. When we put the wall up, we realized that the header over the garage door stuck past the pole slightly, so we need to trim the top corner to allow it to pass. This is where I wish I had brought my Sawzall when I thought to do it, but we managed to hack this corner apart with a circular saw, hammer, and chisel. As I noted before, we're fastening the poles to the stud wall using long leg screws. To hold the walls down to the concrete floor, we're using 1/4 inch diameter by 4 inch long Tapcon screws, which are embedded about 2.5 inches into the concrete. So for this part of the wall, we're going to be putting some windows up top here. And we don't know the exact size of the windows yet. My dad is on his way to the store to get them. So what we're going to do is put the top of the header right at the top of this purlin. Then once we get the windows and figure out how big the rough opening needs to be, we'll fill in the top up here. The other thing we need to do, this short piece of 2x6 here is holding up the ceiling joist. So we'll fill in real tight under here to support that all the way down, and then just fill in the rest of the wall as we did before. The process after this is pretty similar for the rest of the barn, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All right, good morning of day 2. Made some pretty decent progress yesterday. Got a little bit less than half of the walls done. So we got this back wall to do, which is going to be a pain because there's this giant pile of lumber to move. And then along this wall, where the workbenches are, is also going to be a bit of a challenge, because the top of the workbench goes all the way out to the metal of the siding. So pretty much everything's got to come off the bench. Then we got to take it down and build the walls. Then we just got over here by the door to do. Okay, end of day 2, and we are more or less done with the stud walls, with the exception of these 2 bays here behind the workbench, because the workbench is all piled up with stuff and we didn't feel like clearing it. We'll just save that for another day. We pre-built the walls for those. They're just leaning in the back corner here, or along the back wall, so that when we get around to it, we can just plop them in and be done. So next thing is going to be getting the windows for above these areas. It looks like we got 9 of them to put in. That would be really helpful to get some daylight in the shop, because right now you only get it with the garage door open, which isn't that big of a deal if the weather's nice, but if it's cold, obviously you don't want to do that. And then, you know, just get natural daylight in here is always great. But yeah, it's been a good couple of days. Good to get out here and get this done and get that pile of studs whittled down a bit too. So, thanks for following along this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.